All right, y'all. Also dope. Listen, this is not this is I don't even want to consider this an interview. I want to consider this playing catch up. Okay. Me and the Derek Doll have not chit chatted nor talked in a long time.
Very
It's
long.
been it's been a while. Um it's whew, I don't even want to talk about the years. It's been a while.
It's well, we've kept in touch.
Yeah, of
I
course,
haven't
of
really
course.
seen you since I think the last time I don't think you were there when I came down to Shreveport in 2014.
I
We did
pro-
a couple lattes and I performed there.
mhm.
Um, but yeah,
It's
it's been
been a while, but I've definitely have been following your career. I most
okay.
definitely, just because we don't talk don't mean I'm not watching. I can't hardly keep up. I can't hardly keep up. So like when we had these interviews first scheduled and we had to reschedule, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm at the White House." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
got
that
me
was
looking."
crazy.
Listen, got me looking shame. I'm like, "Oh,
You gotta be ashamed and shame
oh."
about it. I think that
But I
you know,
think that was pretty cool though. That was pretty cool.
thank
So,
you.
so since we talking about it, how was your visit at the White House?
I'm still surprised that I was there. You know what I mean? The invitation was extended to me on Wednesday
Hmm.
for the event that was happening on Friday. And I'm like, when's the last time you got invited to the White House?
Uh,
Never.
Come
So
on
yes.
now. Come on.
I was like,
Come
I was
on.
like, so yes, I'm coming. And it was their inaugural LGBTQ Black History briefing
Okay.
where they gave updates on federal cases that have been pursued, um, acts of discrimination, hate crimes within our country. We also talked about bills that have been on the floor to combat discrimination, as far as things like environmental racism,
Okay.
like
Okay.
energy. Be like there, it was a lot happening. I was like, you know what? I was honored to be in that space, not just because I was like the only person from Jersey there.
Yeah.
Honored to be in that space because I remember um, what I said I wanted to do with my platform, right? And it was
Hmm.
never just about music for me. It was always about creating space and about creating change. And I think that over the past few years of my um, career, or me living and doing the things that I intended to do,
Hmm.
I realized like I've been able to play a vital role in things to me that just seemed very passive. It's like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So it's not really, it doesn't impact me the same. But sitting there at the White House, listening to these briefings, I'm just like, oh shit, like this is real. Like
This is it. Like,
this is
yeah.
it. So I was very honored to be there, and I hope they invite me back. And um, I intend to keep up the conversations and hopefully do some things here locally that will push the Biden Harris agenda forward as far as what they're trying to do, especially with the Equality Act, making sure that Congress passes that once and for all. So
I think that's a very good feeling that you're representing your community. Like, that is like
thank
huge.
you.
To me, look, to me, it's huge.
Oh, thanks.
So we just go ahead and introduce yourself. Look, we just went out deep, we just dipped right on into the interview. Go go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell people who you
Okay.
are.
Well, I'm Prince Derek Dahl. I am a Shreveport, Louisiana native, Grambling State University alum. I'm a performing artist. I'm an LGBTQ community advocate. And I don't know, like, I mean, outside of that, I feel like I'm just a regular person who gets a chance to do extraordinary things because I believe I can. And so that's like the way that you've been watching my career. I feel like I have the opportunity sometimes to sit back and look at these things and say, wow, when I was in Shreveport, when I was that 6-year old kid at South Highlands, wanting to be on stage and wanting to do music and to perform, and, high school doing SGA and all those things, that means there was something in me that knew I was going to be in these places. So it's like I'm glad that I listened to my inner knower and stuck with the vision. And so, and there's still more to come. So, um,
Absolutely.
in a
So,
nutshell,
so how has your transition been from moving from Shreveport to where are you located now?
I live in Newark, New Jersey now.
Okay. How
Mhm.
was that? How was that transition? Because Shreveport is it
It's
ain't
what?
the biggest. So you went from, I don't want to say a small town. We're something like a mid-size. I can say a
Yeah,
mid-sized city. We're
I'm
not
excited.
small, mid-sized city to something big. How was that transition?
Um, well, before I moved to the East Coast, I had left Shreveport after graduating from Grambling and moved to LA.
Okay.
So I was living in Hollywood. So I had the experience of being in like a large city and like
Okay.
just having access to um, different aspects of creativity, different cultures, and stuff like that. And I don't feel that I adjusted well there. Like I literally ran away from LA and came back home because I was like, "Ooh, shit, that was too much."
Yeah, because I was gonna say even when I go out of town to other cities, it's like, oh, okay, I'm on the same way. 3 days, okay, yeah, fourth, yeah, I'm
Right.
the traffic.
Um,
The traffic alone drives me.
Absolutely batty. Yeah. But I think what happened, my me leaving Shreveport to come here, I think I was a little older. And I honestly, thinking back, I didn't want to leave because I was enjoying what I was doing. I was recording music down at Young Pros. I was hosting Words Over Lattes. So I found community and like I was having a great time. I had my nice little job over there at the call center. Okay, get my little bitty check. Had my so I was like I had gotten kind of comfortable, and it really was my mom who said, "How many times you gonna ignore those people? They've been calling for 2 weeks. They're trying to get you out there. They're playing music. This could be an opportunity that you may not get again." And I never wanted to live on this coast because of it always being cold and rainy, all that. Like I'm not, we not with all that, from the South. So
Right.
I was really hesitant. I got here and immediately ran into to to struggles. Um, I think I got here and the person I was supposed to be meeting wasn't answering the phone. I ended up having to stay with somebody that I knew from college, and then went from there to um, finally meeting up with the person. And then Hurricane Sandy happened, so I
Mhm.
was trapped in Long Island for 2 weeks, no lights, no, and I'm just thinking like, is
Yeah.
this a sign? Like what am I supposed to, went from there to us not having anywhere to stay. I was literally sleeping in a car in New York, um, washing up in hotel public restrooms and
Mm,
sitting at Starbucks during the day trying to get access to Wi-Fi. And like
right.
it was it the transition wasn't smooth,
Mhm.
but I also remember um telling my mom and my grandfather, like, I'm not leaving here until I get what I came for. Like I
Hey,
done came all this way.
come on with the word. Come on with the
And
word.
she's like,
Come
I'm
on with
not
the word.
leaving. They were my granddad was like, we can get you a ticket back to Shreveport, get a job at the radio station. Blah, blah. I was like, if I wanted to do that, I would have did that.
Mhm.
If this is an opportunity for me and this is something that I really want, I know that I'm gonna have to work for it. And maybe this is just God testing to see if I really want it. And
Mhm.
a lot of things have happened over the past 10 years. And I committed myself to that one phrase. I'm not leaving here until I get what I came for. And
Well, you about to make me look. You about to make me shout up.
hey, if you feel it
About
in
to
your,
make me
if you
look.
feel it
About
in
to
your
make me shout
Shondo,
bye over here. Come on
yeah.
now. Come
but
on.
that's but that's really what it's been for me. It's just reminding myself constantly, like, what my purpose is. What is the purpose? What is the vision? And a lot of times I may not have a plan. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I see where I'm supposed to go. I see this clearly. I have no idea how I'm gonna get there.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, and there were times in my career where this was almost a wrap. I think 20 2018, I think, was probably one of the roughest years I had. I lost one of my best friends. And for those who follow me on social media, like we had um I had launched my Unknown Negro brand. I'd been Afro punk. We were
Mhm.
working, he was literally forced me back into the studio, forced me on stage to perform music because I was going to be done with it. And then he died. And so it really put me in a really dark place. But I had a decision to make. I remember sitting in my little dark 1 bedroom efficiency apartment. I hadn't cut the light on in like 3 weeks. I was eating Papa John's every day if I was eating.
Mhm.
And I was like, it clicked. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die here.
Mhm.
Whoa, that ain't what we came here for.
Come on
So
now.
it was
Come
like,
on. Come on now.
we didn't come here for that. You're
Yeah.
not leaving until you get what you came for. And that means you have to get up off this floor.
Mhm.
And once I did that, it's literally like I was able to see and attract opportunities that aligned with what it was that I wanted. And still to this day, things are happening for me that I can't really explain,
Mm.
but it's just like, you know what? This is what I said I wanted. When the opportunity comes, I just need to be prepared for it, be okay with saying yes, and
Yes.
do it scared, right? Like even if I'm
Mhm.
scared to say like, y'all sure y'all want to invite? I'm like, I think I got warrants, child. Y'all want to to the White House? You know what I mean? I walked in those gates like, I really got. Yeah. All right then. Well, all right. Well, let God do what He's got to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for my experience. I think I've learned a lot. It informs me in what I do with my advocacy. It informs me in how I create my music and what I want to say in my music, my performance style, my look. Like all of that is has been informed by the things I've experienced
Yeah.
over the past few years, and so I'm grateful for that tough and rough transition from
It's needed. It's
small
needed.
mid city to
Uh-huh.
a larger city. And I appreciate my upbringing because, like I said, when I got to LA, there was a lot going on
Mhm.
um, in LA that I just felt like I was too young or maybe just I wasn't prepared for, and it
Mhm.
just seemed like it was a bit much for me. When I got here, I realized how strong I was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, all of it's informed me. And being from Shreveport, I think about it all the time. Like I'm always gonna be me. Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm still
I see every time I see a P, I say that's the with Kings and Linwood.
okay. Period. That's because that's who I am. So it's like I'm always gonna be me, and no matter where I go, whether it's here, whether it's in Paris, whether it's in Ibiza, it don't matter where I'm going. I'm still just a kid from Shreveport who's trying to live out my dreams. That's who I am, and that's what I'm doing.
That's what's okay. That's what I'm look, I mean.
Oh, stop! Don't you do
I
it?
am so excited for you. So, are we gonna have an album coming out soon? I know you have been dropping, singles or whatnot.
Mhm.
Um, well, first of all, let me just love me. I have it on. I have it on repeat. Okay,
You love
it is like I heard it. I want to say it was on your Instagram maybe,
me.
and
Hmm.
I was like, "What is that?" I was like, "What?" It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So when you posted that the single was coming out, and I got to hear the whole thing, it was like I love it. Like it's definitely one of my favorites that you've done.
Thanks.
And you've done some good stuff. You've done some good stuff. But that one like, okay, this is his single. This is his thing. I don't know if it's how the beat come in at the beginning. It puts you in like this trance, and it's like I already had a video playing in my head of what your
Mhm.
video, if you did a video for it, what it would look like. So it's really good. So how has that been going for you?
Okay, two things. So first thing is whatever your idea is, send it to me offline because we will be doing a music video for Love Me.
Okay, so we'll
Um,
talk about that after the
mhm. We'll be doing a
after the
video for
interview.
Love Me.
Okay.
Um, and two is yes, an album is coming. I've been working on the album for about I think maybe 2 or 3 years now.
Mhm.
Like the process started with the release of Bang, which is my autobiographical, like my very Shreveport kind of like that was my intro single. Um, I just dropped Gold Rush X last Friday. I think that dropped last Friday, which is 7 songs kind of celebrating the 10-year anniversary of my first EP, Gold Rush, which
Okay.
I recorded all in Shreveport. Like that was me doing my demos. That was me performing Rihanna Poppin' and Sexcation and
Hmm.
um, Don't Say Goodnight with DJ or Dwari and
Yes, that was a good one. That
right
was a good
dress
one.
code with
That was a good
Enzo and Young Jar and like I realized that I didn't do anything to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the drop. So I was like, oh, I gotta go remaster these songs. I gotta just remix. I gotta blah blah blah. Just because, even if it was for no one else, it was for me to say, wow. Back then, I had no idea what I was doing. I was still new to it, but I knew I had fun with it, and it allowed me to express myself. And then you fast forward 10 years later, and um, I feel like I've gotten a little more experience in how I tell stories and
one.
how my ear is tuned to, like, what makes a song good. Because like you, like if when I hear beats, people send me beats all the time. If it doesn't inspire me, if it doesn't give me like a, if I don't see like a visual, or it doesn't make me kind of like think like, what would this look like? And what am I hearing
Hmm.
in this? If I don't get that, I pass on it. Right.
Hmm.
Um, so if you're watching, if you're listening, go listen to Gold Rush X. It's a new set of demos with, I think, maybe two or three new songs that I've been playing with. Shout out to Cloud9 Music and Christy Woodard, because I think some of those tracks I've had for maybe 8 years, and I
Hmm.
never recorded them. I had
Okay.
I never recorded them, so I was like, oh, I can do re-release of some of the songs from Gold Rush, give people a remix for Chop. They've been asking for, since Chop is still my most successful single to date.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then yeah, added some tribute stuff, and I think Taste and Sexcation too got a remake. So yeah, it's been good, but the album is coming. Like I was like,
Okay,
don't get distracted by Gold Rush.
I'm excited about it, and we're gonna
Trophy
have to
season
do
is coming.
we're definitely gonna have to do I'm about to start because I have a couple more artists I have to interview as well. So I think I'm gonna call it album blast, where we'll do an interview,
Ooh,
we'll do like an album review on each of your tracks and get all the inspiration and
oh,
yada
good.
yada.
We can do that.
So yeah, so we definitely need to do that.
I'm here whenever you
So
need. You
so
yeah.
since you
So
what is your what has been your favorite moment? Because I mean you've had so many because I mean MTV,
oh God,
and
yeah.
I was like, that's my dog. Then you had an interview with Saucy Santana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like what's your favorite? Like
Oh, that's kind of tough. Um, that's tough coming
and
off a
then
visit to the White House.
and then
I'm like,
oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
tough coming off a visit to the White
yeah.
House. I'm like, damn, what's my favorite moment? Um, my favorite moment. Gosh.
Or most memorable,
Um,
maybe. Most memorable.
my most memorable moment. Actually, this was, I think, my most memorable moment, or my most impactful moment,
Hmm.
was something that didn't happen um, really in front of the cameras. It had something to do with my job. So last last year, someone reached out. They were trying to reach out to me, and they couldn't find my contact information. So they found me on LinkedIn, from Mars Wrigley, and they were in a collaboration with Sing for Hope, which is an organization that they have like music programs and things like that, and choirs, all. They had a collaboration with Lil Nas X. And
Hmm.
mind you, I done met him at VMAs, like literally in
Right.
prior to, but they wanted to donate a custom painted piano to the city of Newark. They wanted to donate it to the organization I'm part of, Newark Pride. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's great. Just tying all the things. The people that did the custom painting, they were LGBTQ persons. And then you have the music side, which, I love, the music. And then In my day job, I'm an arts administrator. I literally place teaching artists in schools throughout the state of New Jersey that don't have access to performing arts programs. So teaching them hip hop, jazz, musical theater, all those things. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. Yes, we'll accept the donation, and then we'll just have to figure out where in the city we wanted to go. And it didn't dawn on me. I was like, oh, I can donate this to my job because we have kids that come there every Saturday for their Saturday programs. During the summer, and it was a lot for me to kind of like navigate going through this corporate nonprofit structure of all these
Yeah.
approvals and all the blah blah blah. But once it got like once the CEO knew about it, he would see me and ask me like, "How's it going with the piano?" And kind of literally just kind of affirmed like, "This is gonna happen. Just find out where you want to put it," And so once I got that final push, I got that final yes, we're able to christen the piano in the arts education building of the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, and literally watching the kids embrace that moment and seeing that was something that people did for them, right? So I was looking at them thinking of like, dang, this what it would have been like if during my time, if Prince came and donated,
Right.
cellos and violins or a guitar to South Highlands, this is what
Yeah.
that moment would feel like because the
Yeah.
way they were looking, like, oh my God, like we getting to be, I was like, yeah, it's a little Nazi, blah blah. And the moment that sealed it for me was there was a trans youth. She was there and she had her, I don't know, I think she was like maybe 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
But still very expressive. Had a eyeliner on and a lipstick, and then had this shirt about, Black Lives Matter, and this little white girl.
Okay.
Um, Women's bodies are, belong to them. Like all this stuff, and I'm, looking at this baby activist and advocate, sitting here at this piano playing, and I was like, this child is going to remember this for the rest of their life.
Right.
And I was like, I was able to facilitate this for for someone else's child and the other kids that are part of our program. And I've experienced a lot of things, right? Um, but I think being able to use my influence for good and to like make real change, progress, and impact on younger lives, that's probably the most memorable things. So it's that, and besides my performance last year, where kids actually came on stage to perform "Chop with Me" or whatever, and just
Yeah.
their excitement. Those are the moments that will always stick with me. Like I'll probably forget about the VMAs in another 10
Mhm.
years because I'll probably just keep going back and it's just be all become a
Yeah. Yeah.
blur,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But those type of moments, yeah. So that was definitely my most impactful memory
Okay.
today. Yeah.
So, what artists, what artists or people have inspired you to be who you are today?
Ooh, what that song say? All my idols are dead. Um, so I think it goes without saying that Prince, of course, he inspires my look more than my music. I
Mhm.
think growing up, seeing him like as a black rock and roll star, like kind
Yeah.
of do whatever he did whatever he wanted. He was like a
Yeah.
black male Madonna,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Super talented and very pretty. Men in the '80s were pretty, so that
Mhm.
was a thing. Whitney Houston is my
Oh Lord, don't look. Listen, I would never. Oh man, you had a fit when she died. You remember that?
yeah.
You remember that?
Listen, ooh,
We said,
I was down real bad. Ooh, I think I was drunk singing. I will
I
always be
just,
with my eyes like, Lord, was that there? Yeah, that really happened. I was toe up, y'all. I was toe up.
he was so told. Oh my God, I would never forget that.
Oh,
We was so told up when she passed away.
mm,
Jesus, that was that. Oh, that hurt.
it hurt.
That hurt bad.
It hurt so bad.
It hurt bad.
Um, Whitney Houston. I think that Little Richard and Sylvester are also influences. Um, if I often go back and look at videos or and listen to songs from like the 50s and 60s. And I love the sound of disco because it forces you to dance.
Absolutely.
So
Agree.
that kind of inspired me to want to do like dancey electronic style music.
Hmm.
Um, I think those are. I mean, yeah, all my idols are dead, basically.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, but oh, contemporary, not contemporaries, but like people who are still alive. I think Lady Gaga was an influence.
Okay.
Rihanna, as far as her attitude and how she's
Oh yeah.
unapologetically herself and like
Yeah.
does that. And I think everyone knows that I'm a barb. So
Of course.
I think everybody knows that.
Of course. Of
When
course.
it comes to rap, I think it's, for me, it's Nicki Minaj, Slick Rick, and people laugh at me when I say this, and Will Smith, because I
Okay.
like the way that they tell stories,
Hmm.
and I like the personality they bring to hip hop or the rap genre. And so those are the major influences I think that have played a role in me navigating how I want to express.
Hmm.
But for the most part, I really, in developing Prince Derek Doll, I had to really be as truthful and authentic as possible to me. Like,
Hmm.
what do
Oh
I
yeah.
want this to
Oh
look
yeah.
like? I don't care about comparisons, but it's like I want my sound. I want my
Absolutely.
look. I want my story. I want it to be genuine and authentic. I want it to be raw.
Hmm.
And so yeah, that's what has shaped me as an artist.
That is so wonderful. Lord, I hate this interview got to come to an end so we can talk. You know, me and you can talk all night.
Good.
it's
Look, you could be Barbara Walters. Make this a part one and part two. Just drop them separate.
gonna have to be. It's definitely gonna have to be. But I'm so like, and then you on TV shows and
Mhm.
all kind of stuff. We can get into that. We can get into that part, you know, later on or whatnot. But I just want
Just
to say,
have it. Listen, you got me here. Ask whatever you want. You can chop and screw it, however you want to chop and screw it. But ask me whatever you got. You got me. Ain't no rush for me.
so
You gotta.
yeah, because I be sleepy.
Oh, let's see. I took my nap before I put my face on.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna
I,
interview.
I be
But
sleepy.
I was like, I'm gonna do an interview with Ron. Hold on, let me just say. I
Let
don't
me.
know how long I'm going until you put the message. Like, it's only gonna be about 30 minutes. I was like, she from Louisiana. She lying.
She
30 minutes. We don't even know what that means. I'm because
don't
Ron.
even know what that means. You ain't lying.
I'll be about 30, about half an hour. I'll be there. 2 days later.
It's still talking. Right, right.
So
So
yeah. So real quick. So yes, I'm on the Circle New York. Make sure that you guys go to YouTube, go check out season 5. Season 6 is coming,
okay,
and it's gonna be a doozy. I think people will see me in a different light than they saw me in the first my first season on the show.
okay.
I don't care. Um, and what else? I got some other stuff. Oh yeah. So yeah, I've been on TV. That's all I can say for that right now. Like I've been on TV before.
But we gonna definitely do a part two of this though. We definitely are. But
That's what
I just appreciate, and I tell people all the time, like I appreciate the people that I know, high or low, because no matter what, we gonna always be ourselves. We always bring our own flavor to whatever brand we have.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, when Derek Doll show up, he gonna show up and he gonna show out every time, no matter what the rules are.
Well,
We
that's true. I am a rule breaker. I
exactly.
bring good trouble.
Exactly. So
Bring good
yeah, so I'm definitely proud of you. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Love Me, because that's my jam. And
yes.
I'm gonna play a little bit at the end of this video
Okay.
because I love it.
Please,
I
yes.
definitely love it. So thank you so much. I definitely like appreciate it. Definitely gonna be a part two. Tell us, go ahead and give us your social media information.
So you can find me on Instagram at the Derek Doll. You can find me on Facebook at Prince Derek Doll. You can follow me on TikTok, Prince Derek Doll. And for all the other social stuff, you can go to my website at www.thederekdoll.com. You can get my music there. You can support my Unknown Negro merchandise. And yeah, just keep up with all things that are happening in the dollhouse.
So excited, y'all. Thank y'all, also dope fam. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in to another interview. I got some more hot interviews on the way. Like I'm like this round of interviews. Like I'm gonna pull out my cloud card. Like I'm like
Pull it out. I know
I'm
that's
pulling
right.
my
Cause
cloud
you're
card.
an OG. You're a legend too now. Don't trying to make yourself like come on now, right? Cause you was an OG too now. The legend. Come on. Come
Tell
on.
them like I don't talk about it much or post about it much, but I'm
Yeah.
like people know me, man.
Yeah. You
You know
out
what
here. You out here. We've been in the field.
I'm
We've been in the field. That's why I was like, anything you want to, anything you ask of me, you got it. Because I know that your story hasn't been, or your journey hasn't been necessarily easy either.
saying?
And so the fact that
Ooh, ooh.
we're both
Yeah,
here,
and alive.
alive, right here and alive, thriving and pursuing the things that we had inside of us this whole time.
Yeah,
It's reassuring. It's inspiring, and so I appreciate you for thinking of me for this
always,
interview, and I
always.
can come back whenever you ready.
For sure.
Take off my Rocket Man suit, child.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and all the other stuff y'all say for YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, y'all whoop de whoop. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I'm gonna make you love me. I'm gonna make you love me. I'm gonna make you love me. Right. Heading in a new direction. Feeling like I need protection for me. It's never easy, I be stressing. Then you came along and helped me breathe. Now all I wanna do is lay up under you. Gotta try to get you on my team. Hoping that you notice.